Welcome back to Cleats Convos presented by State Farm. Don't settle for just any insurance unless it's State Farm. How we doing, Zach?
Oh, we're doing well, Deebo. Thanks for having me.
So we're going to play a game called Press or Release. Press equals false, release equals true.
Okay, press is false, release is true. Got it.
You like the curly blonde hair more than the short buzz.
Press is false, you said?
Press is false, release is true.
Yeah, so press. Long curly hair is a terrible look. I had obviously horrible friends that didn't tell me it was a terrible look.
What the picture look like?
Yeah, see, look at this. This is terrible.
Yeah, that's not.
I was like 15 years old. Adam Morrison, you probably don't even remember Adam Morrison. You're too young. He was an amazing basketball player for Gonzaga back in the day.
And that's who you trying to be.
He had long hair, and so I thought I was a basketball player, and so I liked the long hair look. It was terrible in hindsight.
All right, press or release. Your wife, Julie, is more competitive than you.
I would say release because that means true, obviously. She's a dog. She's a competitor, obviously. We don't compete as much in like the little things that we used to. It's not like we're running around the house changing diapers, who could change diaper faster and whatnot. She's an amazing athlete. And as a married man, your wife's better than you at everything. So yeah, I'm gonna go with that.
Okay. We got two more. You could have played college basketball if you wanted. I seen you shoot in the locker room. Like,
I would say that's release. That's true. I don't know how high of a level I could have played. It's not like I was going D1, like major D1, but I think I could have played at some small schools, probably made a Cinderella run in March Madness, be an icon for a really small
got all
school.
these hoop dreams.
Yeah, hoop dreams for sure.
Press or release. Last one, press or release. You see Philly as your second home.
Yeah, I mean, I love Philly. I don't know if it's I love Virginia, obviously. Love being here. Philly had amazing 9 years there. It will always be a part of me, part of my family. Everyone knows how I feel about the city. Our foundation is still doing work there. So, yeah, we love it.
We're going to talk a little Commanders football. This is your second year with the Commanders. Why did you choose to sign here?
Yeah, I mean, I've loved being here first and foremost since I got here. But a few years back, I was in Arizona. It was a tough end to my career in Arizona. And so I wanted to get back with Cliff when I saw he was the OC here. I didn't really know DQ at the time, didn't really know who the quarterback situation was. But I had loved playing for Cliff when I was in Arizona. So when I had the opportunity to come here and play for him, someone that has believed in me wholeheartedly from the moment that I got with him, it was a no-brainer. And then we drafted Jaden. Being here with DQ has just far surpassed every expectation I had coming here, and I've loved every bit of it.
For sure. As you mentioned, you played with Cliff in Arizona. Did he recruit you here? And what does Cliff bring to this offense?
Yeah, Cliff is the offense. So the offense is how he wants it. It's his system. It's his scheme. I feel like he has a lot of autonomy to kind of do what he wants. DQ isn't micromanaging anyone in this building, which I'm sure the coaches love. And yeah, he definitely recruited me here. We had some success in Arizona together. He knew my skill set. He thought I could add value to this team, this organization. So yeah, he was a big part of the reason I came here, and we definitely had our conversations before I signed.
Yeah, for sure. He's definitely the offense behind everything.
Yep.
So we're gonna play a game called Guess the Performance. We're gonna show you a picture. I have 3 hints if you need a hint.
What are we looking like? Stats, yards?
We're going catches, yards, touchdowns.
Oh, catches, yards, touchdowns. All right.
So guess the performance. We got the picture showing on the screen right now. I have 3 hints if you need one.
I'm going to go, this is Cardinals, Seahawks, obviously. I think it was like 7 for 77 and 2 touchdowns.
It was 8 for 88.
8 for 88, 2 touchdowns.
He was close. Yeah. All right, we got can we put the second picture up, please? 2021.
This is the Falcons game last year. This was like 5 for 76 and 2 touchdowns.
You actually went 6 for 72 and 2 touchdowns.
Okay.
You close.
Yeah.
You're close. You're knocking at the door. Last one. Last picture.
This is the playoff game against the Lions. It was, I don't think the yards per catch was that great. I think it was like 5 for 38 and a touchdown.
5 for 28.
5 for 28 and a touchdown. Yeah, yards per catch wasn't there. But we're working on that this year.
Talk about that game. How was that game? What was the the motivation going into that game. We played Detroit in the NFC Championship as well, and they about blew us out until we came back. So, like, how was it playing in Detroit? Because we ended up playing them at home.
Yeah, it was an awesome game, obviously, for us to be able to put it. They were the 1 seed. The stadium was rocking, and it was probably our most complete game as a team. Offense, defense, special teams really, really played well. Jaden was unconscious, and so it was just an environment that we went into as a team that no one really picked us to have success against them because they were so good, so talented, and we just had a better day that day.
You said JD is the closest thing to Andrew Luck you've been around. What
Yep.
comparison you see in them both?
Yeah, I think, I played with Andrew in college, played with Jaden, obviously, now currently, and they're probably the most talented players I've played with. Andrew in college, obviously, was insane playing with him. But he was so good, but it was never about him. He would never want any of the credit. If the TVs were showing him in the locker room, he'd go up to the television, turn the TV off because he didn't want it ever to be about him. And I feel like Jay is similar in that regard. He's super, super talented. You don't get drafted number 2 overall, win the Heisman without that. But he's just so humble, one of the guys, and dog competitors.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely a dog.
And so it's never about them. And they just want to be one of the guys. They care about people, and they exhaust themselves in the process. So I've loved playing for Jaden since the moment he got here.
For sure. Let's talk the loss to the Packers.
Oh, great.
Does the team live up to the hype? I can kind of start off. Early on in the week, DQ was talking about how fast their defense was, like, flying to the ball, like the pass rush, this, that, and the third. I wouldn't say it's like kind of like live up to the hype. I think it's just like kind of like the standard LaFleur is trying to build over there. They came out flying. In the offensive aspect, you like to get going early, like little dinks and dunks, just to, settle Jay down, in my opinion, just a little bit, and just to get the flow of the game rolling, of like how Cliff like to call the plays and how we like to get rolling. But I think their defense was pretty good. I thought their defense was pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, they're obviously very talented. They're extremely well coached. I got a lot of respect for that D coordinator. And I talked about it prior to the game. The one thing you don't want to do is get behind to them early. And become one-dimensional, because the pass rushers with Micah and the rest of the guys are just too good, too talented to just live in that situation. And unfortunately, that's exactly what happened to us. We got down early and it became one-dimensional. And so for us, we just had a bad day. I wouldn't put too much stock into our performance. I don't think anyone's over here in the panic button like what happened to us. It's a long season. We want to continue to improve as the season goes on. But they definitely were the better team that night.
For sure. We know we got the Raiders coming in this weekend. I kind of watched them a little bit last night. What challenges do you think they pose, and how do you feel about Brock Bowers and Ashton Jeanty?
I mean, I don't know a lot about Ashton Jeanty, obviously. I was asleep last night for that game. When it comes on at 10 p.m. Eastern, I'm going to miss that one. But Brock is a phenomenal player. What he did last year was incredible. To come into the league as obviously a high draft pick and put up the numbers he did was phenomenal. And the Raiders, with Pete, they're going to be extremely well coached. They're fast defensively. They fly around. Max, probably top 2, top 1, top 3 pass rushers in the league. Relentless effort. He's always going to fly around. He sets the tone for that whole building. And so, yeah, they're going to be well coached. They're going to play fast. They're going to play hard. It's going to be a tough game for us, honestly.
For sure. Now it's time for the Don't Settle segment, brought to you by State Farm. For this, you're going to choose the schools that you think has a better tight end university.
All right.
So we go Stanford or Oklahoma.
I'm going to say Stanford.
We go Stanford or Notre Dame.
Stanford.
Stanford or Miami.
Stanford.
Whew. Stanford or Iowa.
Oh man! Shout out to my guys, George, TJ, Noah. But I'm biased in this. You're not going to get an unbiased answer out of me here, so I'm going to say Stanford.
All right, so that kind of answers my next question. Like, why did you choose Stanford over all these schools? And I'm looking at a good bit of these names, and there's some guys on here.
Yeah, of course. I'm not saying, but I mean,
can I get an unbiased answer?
I think Iowa currently is probably tight end you. I think Stanford,
they got
if you're a tight end, I would love, if I was getting recruited right now, I feel like Stanford is the school you want to and should go to. Obviously, Iowa has a few first-round draft picks recently, but I'm biased to Stanford. I feel like they developed the tight ends amazingly. Obviously, I'm a product of it, so there's a lot of bias there. But in terms of the whole experience, I think you get a better experience than Stanford.
So what makes a school tight end to you? Is it the players in the league?
Yeah.
Or is the players in the Hall of Fame?
Ooh. Well, I don't know if Stanford has a tight end in the Hall of Fame.
I mean, we got one on the way.
But I think probably tight end U would be drafted because it's like I wouldn't say maybe it's league success. It's probably drafted. So for that, maybe Iowa.
Appreciate you, Zach.
Appreciate you, Deebo.
This was another episode of Cleats Convos presented by State Farm. Don't settle for just any insurance unless it's State Farm.